Hey everybody.
Broadcast
Hey everybody. Tina Hogan Grant here with my regular Cuppa A Natter that I do every other Monday. I like to invite authors into my home and we talk about writing and books, what it's like to be an author, what we're working on, whatever comes to mind. Before we get started, I am going to do a shameless plug, which I like to do. I'm an author. I have book 7 coming out in August 3rd. It will be the 4th book in the Sabella series, and right now it's on sale for $1.99 for pre-order. Book 1, which is this one, is Slater, and that is on sale currently for 99 cents, and this is the Kindle edition. So that's my shameless plug. Today or tonight, I have Rita Pamplin joining me. How are you doing this evening?
Good. I'm doing good. I'm good. I had coffee, so I am ready to go. It's 8 o'clock at night here, so I had coffee like 2 hours ago.
I can't do a cup and a natter.
I'm good.
Have a cup of tea.
Good.
So, but I have to have my tea every afternoon. I'm from England, and I just cannot get that out of my system. But I'm really excited to talk to you this evening about your books. Before we get started, we do have a few people joining us. You got Karen Wright. She says, "Hey, you."
Yeah, hi, Karen.
I'm seeing a couple. Actually, I'm only seeing one right now. A Facebook user. It says, "Hello, Tina and Rita. You are watching this, I know, from my group because I can't see your name. My group is private. So you need to go above the video and click on the blue link. And that will give StreamYard permission for me to see your name. If you're watching from my author page or you're watching from YouTube, they are public. So that's fine. You don't have to give permission. But in my group, if you're watching it there, make sure you give StreamYard permission. We have Tammy Layton here. She says, "Hi, Rita and Tina."
Hi, Tammy.
Hey, Tina Evans is here. She says, "Hi, ladies." Beth
Hi, Tina.
Beth Molan. Teresa Moyer. Hello and good evening from Oregon. Karen Wright said, "I've learned my lesson. I'm on your author page." Yeah, if you go to the author page, it's totally public. I do want to mention before we start talking to Rita, if you have questions for Rita, be sure to put them in the comments. I will try to get to as many as I can. If I don't, I apologize, but I'll have Rita go through the comments after the live video and she can answer any questions that we've missed. So Rita, we're going to get started. Before we get started, let's learn a little bit about Rita's background. Where do you live?
I live in Maryland.
You're in Maryland?
Yes. A little town in Maryland called Manchester. Manchester, England. Yes, I figured you'd get that. It's a very small town, very rural area. Of course, you know, it's been built up over the years. Like a lot of farms have gone away and houses have been built on it. And there was a brand new school that was built. And so it's kind of sad to see, you know, the farmland kind of going away from here. I mean, we do have some farms still, but it's dwindling. It's dwindling. So, I'm originally from New York, and I've lived everywhere. I've lived, when I was 7, I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada. My father moved there. So, lived there till I was 16, then moved to North Carolina, and lived there, and then moved to Maryland when I was, like 28 or so. And I have 3 children. I have a daughter who is 20, a son who's 22, and my youngest daughter is 17. Yes, and I have always loved writing. I used to write poetry in elementary school and do like poetry contests, you know, in elementary school, and have little awards for like good poetry and all that stuff. And then, this is a crazy story, but when I was in 5th grade, my English teacher wanted to do a book, and he said, let's create a book. And everybody wrote chapters, and he would go over the chapters, and most of my chapters ended up in the book.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, it didn't get published because he sent it to a publisher, but because we had left fifth grade going to middle school from elementary, they said it was too long or something, and he sent everyone letters in the mail, and it did so we couldn't go back and like refix it to get it published because we were all going to middle school.
Right.
But it was about a motorcycle gang that owned a chicken farm. Don't
That's
ask me
now
where that I do.
found a chicken farm.
Yes,
Those
a motorcycle gang owned a chicken farm.
okay.
That, that was the book theme, and I would just write these crazy chapters, and he loved my writing. Like he just said, like even back then, he said, like your just imagination is
Out
just
there.
out there. Yes. So so I so that happened, and then like I wrote different stories over time. Actually, the movie Cujo.
Yeah,
So
I never watched it, but I don't
yeah,
watch horror, but I know the movie.
yeah. So I actually wrote my like before the movie even came out. Like I had just thought of this name in my head because I'm always thinking. You know how it is when you're an author.
Yeah.
You always think.
Can't shut it off. Yeah.
And I wrote this short story about, and it was named Cujo. And then when the movie came out, I thought, oh my God, I wrote a similar story to that
Before it came out.
before it came out. Yes. And I was always like wanting to write. I still have all the poetry when I was a kid. I used to pretend like I was a newscaster, and when we had the little cassettes,
Right.
that you record,
Right.
I would pretend like I was a newscaster, or I would write some like article about like something like I was going to be like a journalist or something. But I really, in reality, wanted to be a teacher. However, that really didn't come to fruition because I was never really good at school. So when I went to college, it was like really hard. And then I just kind of like gave up. So I didn't become a teacher, but that's fine. And then over the years, I had wrote a children's book for my son called Bobby's Box because he loved boxes. He was just so into creating everything with boxes. Sent it to a publisher who was one of those vanity publishers, I would say, and they wanted thousands of dollars for this short little children's book. And I was like, I don't have that kind of money. So that kind of just went by the wayside. And then I decided that when I was going to be 50, I wanted to be a published author. I said, I just want to be a published author at 50. I have to do this. I started writing a mystery novel, which originally was a whole different version, but it kind of had like things about bullying and stuff in it. My daughter's friend was bullied a lot in elementary school and went to counseling and things. Well, long story short, she was only 13 and she killed herself with her father's police gun. Yes, with her father's police gun. So I kind of wanted to write this story about bullying and stuff. But it sort of has evolved over time, so it's like way different than it was at the beginning. And when I first started that, I joined a lot of writers groups, and I guess I was, I don't know, not strong enough then to really like not take people's comments. So
well, you didn't have the confidence.
I didn't. So people would say, oh, your work's not really good, and you don't know how to write, and this and that and stuff. And so I really, so then I was like, okay, well, I guess I can't just do this. I just can't do it. So I kind of like, and I was 9 chapters into the story, but like I said, it had evolved into like more of a mystery, haunting kind of a story, like a ghost type story. I don't know why it ended up from one thing to the other, but it did. So I still have them, still have these 9 chapters. Cancers. And that was supposed to be my first original debut book, was I was going to do this mystery book. But then lo and behold, cancer came along.
And that was in 2019.
2019, yes, it came along, and I was 52 at the time. I'm 54 now. So anyway, cancer came along, and I was
bladder cancer.
Yes, I have bladder cancer. Yes, I had my bladder removed, total hysterectomy. I have a bag, and I know, like, people are like, "Oh my God, why are you telling us this?" Because it's reality.
It's reality. Why
sugarcoat it? It's my life.
Before we get into the book, I'm going to hold it up. I want to say hi to a few more people.
Okay, sure.
Because this is the book I want to talk to you about. But let me scroll down. There are a lot of people joining us. Again, I'm talking to Rita Pamplin, excuse me.
You're fine.
We're going to talk about her book, Dear Cancer, which is the one I just read over the weekend. I'm scrolling to see what we're looking here. Janet Weston is here. She says hello.
Hello.
Joyce Carroll is here. Beth Molan, I'm going to answer a few questions if I see them before we get into your book. Beth Molan is asking, what do you like to read?
Mostly mystery, true crimes. I like a lot of autobiographies and true crimes, and I love mystery books. Anything to do with mysteries, like anything. I really like Daniel Steele.
Okay.
Her books and stuff.
I read a lot of her books.
When I was younger, I read a lot of like Sherlock Holmes. And before Stephen King was, the king, I used to watch Alfred Hitchcock movies all the time. Love horror. I love horror.
I can't watch horror.
Can you? Oh my God! I've seen every Omen, every Friday 13th, every.
I have nightmares.
Yes, yes. And everybody says, "Why don't you write horror?" And I'm like, "But I watch horror on TV."
But don't you go to bed and then get nightmares after watching that stuff?
Yes. Actually, one night I thought that a headhunter was coming after me, and I woke up like freaking out. And because I watched a movie about a headhunter cutting off someone's head, and then I went to bed, and it was a disaster.
Not for me. No. Lori's here. Lori's here.
Yeah.
Lori says hi.
Hi.
Crystal is here, and she says Rita's book is amazing.
Thank you.
Jacqueline Tibbs is here. She says hey. Tammy Layton says Crystal Santor, I agree, read them all and love them.
Tina Evans says I love horror movies.
Maren has a question for you. What kind of poetry do you write? I like the kind. I guess there is. I don't like poetry at all, so
well, in my books, not my Dear Cancer, but because I wrote so much in that anyway. But I like to write poetry about real stuff, like like in my last two books, there's poetry in there about the story and events and things like that. So so I write. I like true story kind of poetry.
Okay.
Not something that's like fictional, but something that's related. Like I relate my poetry to the book. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
I've never tried writing poetry. I don't think
I love it. I love it. And somebody had said to me, like, the blurbs on the back of the books, I can write those really easy. And someone's like, those are the hardest things to do. And I'm like, not for me, they're not. Because to me, it's like,
if you have it, then
I don't know. I can just do it.
You can just do it. I've never even tried. I might try something. I don't know. I don't think I could. Let me see. I'm just scrolling down. Jacqueline says, I like Robert Frost and Elizabeth Barnett Brewing. I guess those are authors. I haven't heard of them.
I haven't either.
A couple of Facebook users. Don't forget, if you're watching from my group, you need to click on the blue link above the video so I can see your name.
I would love to start your books. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I always like to see nice comments.
They're all supportive. You guys are great.
Yes, I have found that I have found that like now, like the groups I'm in now are very supportive. Like everyone is so supportive. Even when I think, oh, I have these 20 million ideas and I throw them out there and think these people are going to think I'm crazy because I've got this idea and that idea. And, oh, I thought about this book title. And, but everybody's just like so supportive. Like nobody really, puts me down or says, oh my God, can you just settle on one thing, So I have come a long way from the bad groups I was in at first. I was in really bad groups, really bad groups.
No, I mean, the group of people that, come regularly into our groups, they're very supportive. They share our work. They give us compliments and they show an interest in our work. And it's because of you guys, speaking for myself, and I'm sure for Rita too, is why we keep writing.
Right. Because there was moments when, like I wrote my second book, which was called Mended Body, Broken Soul, which was about my surgery, recovery, and beyond. It didn't really sell very well. So I got very down on myself, like, oh, maybe I should write. What?
The second book you said didn't sell very well?
This one here.
Okay, well, don't say that because I'm not getting tough on you, but it's only been out a couple of months.
Right.
And the more books you produce, the better your sales.
Okay.
Just the way it works. Don't ever say the book didn't sell well. I know when it came out a couple of months ago.
Right.
And when someone picks up, which one we're going to put, like Dear Cancer, which is your first book, this one here. When someone picks this up, I'm this way, and I enjoyed this book, then I will go into Amazon and look to see what else they've written.
Okay.
They all, I mean, I'm sure these readers that are watching this now can relate, but you're a new author. I mean, look at, what's her name? I can't think of it. Harry Potter. She's still in the top 10 of her books that came out 15 years ago. Your book,
I know.
This book keeps selling. My book, Reckless Beginnings, that came out in 2018, I'm still selling every day. So
right. So I just had a moment of like,
yes, I'm correcting you.
I know, right? And I have an interesting. So speaking of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, right?
Yeah.
So I was telling my friend Chris Ruby and Tammy Layton and all the other people on here that are in that know me. I was telling Tammy Layton and Chris Ruby that I felt like, because the book I'm writing right now, the mystery book that I told you about, that I've revised, and now it's at a really good point, and I'm going through it and tweaking it, making it better. I literally have handwritten it, and I've typed and I printed out the type part. Right, I carry it in my car. I carry like if I have a minute, before I go into work, like I write in it all the time. Like I carry it around, and I said to myself, I feel like J.K. Rowling because she carried Harry Potter in a shoebox.
Yeah, and that book was written on a train.
Right. Yeah. And I write in my car. I write at home. If I'm like at work and we're not busy, I'll write on my lunch. Like I'm always writing somewhere.
That's great.
I'm always writing.
I have to be at home to write. I can't write on the road. And I hear of authors that have written an entire book on their cell phone. I cannot do that.
I've heard of that. Yeah. I don't do that either, but I do write. I have notebooks. I have notebooks in my bag that I take to work. Like, and I keep a notebook in my car, and I keep a notebook in my purse. And when I have that moment, I handwrite it, and then I go back and type it later.
I do want to point out this Rita because she is my cousin in England. This is Grace Ann. Her real name is Rita.
Hi, Grace.
Grace Ann is her mother, my Auntie Grace, but she is actually in England. And in England right now, it is, my gosh, they're 8 hours ahead of us. That will make it almost 2 o'clock in the morning. So, Linda, thank you so much for staying up. I miss you.
Yes.
I do want to pull her up and say a howdy to her and let her know that I did know she was here.
Right. Well, thank you for being up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
So sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to Tammy's here. Tammy Layton is here. We got some great people here tonight. Sherry Evans. Here's a nice comment. Sherry Evans says, our authors are special to us. We love awesome books like you and Tina. I never read a book I didn't like. See, Words like that just give us encouragement to keep writing. Right? Uh-oh. Did we lose Rita? She froze. There she comes.
There we are. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we are.
There we go. See what happens when we go live? It happens. It's fine.
It's technology.
I can't even read on a cell phone, let alone write a book.
Right.
Okay, we're going to talk about this book. Dear Cancer, you were diagnosed with cancer in 2019. I read this book over the weekend. It's a good book. It's raw. It's real. You didn't sugarcoat anything. Nope. And I highly recommend it, not just for people that are going through. I'm a cancer survivor. I have breast cancer. You have bladder cancer. There is no easy cancer. Cancer is just hard no matter what kind of cancer you have. I think your treatment that you went through was more brutal than what I went through. I went through the radiation. I went through a lumpectomy surgery, but I ended up getting blood clots from tamoxifen.
Oh, so wow.
That scared me more than the cancer for me.
Right.
But now, and I'm sure you have the same feelings, is that my fear now is the cancer returning.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That is my biggest fear.
Yes. I just actually had a CAT scan done. Work and went to my oncologist, and he said to me, I said, "Oh, it's so great to be cancer free." And he says, "Well, we're going to be We're going to be hopefully optimistic, because you never ever know." And that is the honest truth. You don't know.
You don't know.
So I'm just going to go every 6 months for several years.
Yeah.
And pray to God it doesn't come back. I mean, it's like I said to somebody, like I went through it. I survived it. I had major surgery. I was had many complications in the hospital. I almost died 3 times from these complications. And I said, I don't know if I could go through another cancer. I don't know. I mean, I would, but I'm saying like mentally and all of that, it's so challenging.
Yeah, it's so not just the physical attributes of cancer. It is the mental strain.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course you have children. I mean,
right. And I remember like when I got first diagnosed with it, my daughter was graduating high school in a couple of months from then. And I literally lost it in the car and was just hysterical and was calling a friend like, I can't drive. I was hysterical, like thinking that I was going to die before she graduated high school. That was my fear. And that's why the book happened, because I needed to get out my stuff, you know what I mean? And I wanted to help other people.
Right.
And I thought
this would definitely help other people. And what I liked about the book is that you wrote it in letters form, of course, because it was your therapy. Yes. When you're going through cancer, you actually wrote a journal, kept a journal, but you wrote the letters like you're writing them to a person. And
yes, I did.
To cancer like it were a person. And I did that with my mom, who suffered from dementia. I did the same thing. I wrote as if dementia was a person taking over my mother.
Okay.
Totally relate to that. And some of the things I want to read the back of the book, but some of the things that you wrote in here are really powerful.
Thank you.
There's one, I bookmarked it. I want to just read this one thing, because I read it a few times because I just thought it was really powerful. And it's just a short little paragraph. And it says here, it's on page 30. It says, "Cancer, you have taught me the most powerful lesson of all. Live in the moment, laugh when you feel like crying, do what you want. Have no fear, reach your goals and dreams, fight the good, know that you are worthy, love yourself, never give up or give in to this disease." That is really powerful right there.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it's words like that that not only cancer victims, I call them victims, cancer survivors, people that are going through cancer need to hear words like that, but also
Yes.
their family.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's why I wrote the book. Not only for myself, but for the cancer survivors and the caretakers and the ones that passed away. Like I wrote it for all of them, not just for me. So I wrote it, yes, to get myself through it, but it really was for everyone else.
Right. Do you think you would do in a couple of years? I mean, I think it would be great if you wrote another book in a couple of years, bringing readers up to date on your cancer,
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could definitely do that,
I think that'd be great. And that would be, I mean, of course, I'm 99% sure, hoping that you'll be cancer-free in a couple of years and continue to, grow, but give other cancer victims hope by, continuing on your journey 2 years down the road with an update.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I could definitely do that. But yeah. So, but I just, and I signed up for a bladder cancer support group, and I was always on there doing, and this is how it all started, was I was on there doing videos. I was always doing videos like, hello everyone, hope you're having a good day, hope you're feeling well, this happened to me and all that. And I was just doing a lot of videos, and people loved my videos, and they were like, wow, you really made my day, or you inspired me to keep going. And then I started writing the letters because, it was my way of therapy. And then I shared the letters, and I actually got other people to write letters or talk about their cancer. And that's the most important thing to me. The most special thing to me was I got people to open up about their own cancer where they would have never talked about it.
Yeah, there you go. And it is a support group, like you said. I'm going to read the back of the book just to give people a little description of the book. And also what I like, too, there's a letter from the editor in the front saying that you had asked not to have any errors removed. You wanted it to be real and raw, how you wrote it.
Yes, I called it my imperfectly perfect book.
I think that's great. I think that's great. And it actually adds to the book because you wrote this when you were going through that.
Right.
And you more real. Yeah. I like what the editor said. She called it chemo brain.
Yes. And it definitely was. Definitely was chemo brain, that's for sure. I have it now.
Let me read the book, and then I do want to bring up some people that are talking about them being cancer survivors, so you can say hi to them. But I'm going to read the back of the book first. This is the back of Dear Cancer, your debut novel, and it says cancer. It's a word that affects us all. We all know someone who has fought cancer and won, or fought cancer. This book is one way Rita Pamplin is fighting back. Her letters have kept her motivated. Now she's ready to share them with the world in hope that others fighting the good fight can gain some hope, wisdom, and encouragement from someone who's been there with real and raw emotions. Rita takes you on the journey with her. And when you're finished reading, you'll realize that words do have power. Some people never give up, and the most amazing strength can come from those battling the worst war.
Amen. Amen to that. Yes.
Amen, girl.
Yes.
There is Catherine. She has a comment here. She says,
hi, Catherine. Hi.
I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2019, same year as you, Rita.
Yeah.
Even though I've had 2 clear cancer checks, I breathe a sigh of relief. It's still nerve-wracking going to the... It is.
It's very nerve-wracking. It's very nerve-wracking because when I went for my last scan, I couldn't sleep the night before. I was so like, oh my God, what if it's back? What if it's somewhere else? What if it's, in my mind, like thinking these thoughts? And I understand it. And you understand it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm 10 years in remission. I was diagnosed in 2011. But since 2011, I've lost half a dozen friends to breast cancer.
Oh my God. So sorry about that.
Yeah, I just lost a dear friend last month. And that's
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they were diagnosed around the same time as me. They had similar, diagnosed breast cancer 1 to 2. And
Right.
they had the same treatment as me, identical. And then within the last 10 years, it came back with a vengeance and
Yes.
they lost the battle. And that's my biggest fear, that it will come back. Just like we
Right.
all, you
Right.
know.
We're all like on the edge. We're like
Yeah.
walking on
And it,
eggshells,
and it changes your life completely. I mean,
Right.
I never ever take a day for granted anymore.
Right. Right.
You know,
That's why I had to tell my story, and I thought to myself, like I've always wanted to be a writer, like I told you, and I thought to myself, this is the time for me. This is what I'm supposed to do.
right.
This is why God,
Mm-hmm.
left me on this earth to do what
And you have
I was supposed to
yeah.
always do.
And you have a
And
strong
now, yeah, and now like I just want to write all the time. I'm like, I'm like, can I just stay home and write? Because like I went back
That's
to
what I.
work.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I know. I hear you. But yeah, when I got diagnosed in 2011, that's when I told myself I'm going to write Reckless Beginnings. I'd had the idea 20 years prior, and it's like,
Did
okay,
you?
yeah, 20
Okay.
years prior, and I told myself after Reckless Beginnings was written, it's not going to take another 25 years to write the next book.
Yeah, it did. It did it. It did it. Yeah, you're doing really good. You're on your what, seventh book, eighth book?
Seventh book comes out in August. So
Okay.
yeah, Dana here is a survivor. She's 31 years survivor and goes every 2 years, and again, extremely nervous. So it
Yeah,
never goes away. It just never ever
it
goes.
never and never. And the trauma from it all, it never leaves you. Even
Uh-huh.
though, I someday, like I try to be this like person who's like, yeah, everything's fine. Like inside, sometimes I'm falling apart, and no one would know
Mhm.
because I just kind of go about my day, and but literally, I just fall apart some days, and or I'll cry in my car because it's just
I think in the
stressful.
first couple of years I was like that, but now it's been 11 years and I still don't relax. Just like Dana, she's 31 years,
Mhm.
in mission.
Right,
Even after
right.
11 years, I still don't relax. And I always get my test done in October, and it happens to be breast cancer month. Is
Yes,
when I have my mammograms and my blood tests and everything.
right, right.
So prior to me getting my test, October is very nerve wracking for me. Very nerve wracking.
Oh
But I
yeah.
do want to bring up the survivors and just give them recognition. Here's another
Okay,
one.
sure.
This is Facebook used. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You must be in my group. But she says, my youngest daughter had cervical cancer when she was 25 the first time, then 27 the second time. She is now cancer-free for 3 years. I am thankful for her fight since she had 2 small children.
Aw, that's great. I'm glad to hear about that.
And let's hope, every year she's going to be cancer-free, right? Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think a lot of it is to do with the attitude too. Your attitude towards the fight of cancer has a lot to do with you have a brilliant attitude. I mean, I love the way you talk to cancer in the book.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I did. I talked directly to it. I didn't talk at it or, I didn't talk at it. I talked to it like I'm talking to you. Are you, like you need to listen to me because I'm
Uh-huh.
telling you how I feel
Yeah,
today,
I
Yeah,
love
yeah, I had to do that.
Yeah.
And it was like my first like real published book, and and I really didn't honestly know what I was doing. Like I just knew that I had to write this story. I knew it.
And you
I
did it.
just knew it.
On the cover, I
And
mean, I love the colors of the cover. Did you do the
oh,
cover?
that's my favorite. Well, I had somebody do it. My favorite color is green.
Mine
My
too.
favorite color is green. So yes. So
Yeah, it looks good.
I love the color green. It's just very calming for me. So yeah, yeah. And my cancer, because breast cancer is pink, correct? Yeah. My
Mhm.
cancer is 3 different colors. It's like yellow, blue, and purple, like all on the ribbon.
I didn't
And I'm
know that.
like, yeah, it is. And my daughter actually got a tattoo on her
Aw.
leg. Yeah, that was so special. Of it, and it's weird that it's 3 colors. I don't know why, but it is. So yeah, it's 3 different colors. But
Is
yeah,
there a history of cancer in your family?
yes. My father's side of the family is riddled with cancer. My father actually had bladder cancer himself, but he was 86. He had been a smoker, a truck driver. And the first thing they asked me was, do you smoke? And I said, I've never smoked. And then they thought maybe it was environmental, the bladder cancer, or it could be genetic because of my father. So then my father at 92 had colon cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They took a huge tumor out at 92 from this man, caused him to have severe dementia after that, really messed him up. And then they, at 93, they, found blood in his stool and said, oh, well, we're not going to operate on him again because, he was so with the dementia and all and stuff. Yes. And then my grandfather died of liver cancer. My aunt died. Yes, my aunt died. My father's sister died of cancer that was in her spine.
Mm-hmm.
She died from that. And then I had a cousin who I hadn't talked to in years. She is a year younger than me or older than me. I can't remember. She died of ovarian cancer the year that I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. She had died that year. And I went on Facebook, got a hold of my cousin, and was like, "Oh, how is your family?" And his father, who was my cousin, died of lung cancer. So cancer is just like all over that side of the family. So that's what scares me the most is getting colon cancer because my father had it. So I'm like, oh my God, please no.
I know you had bladder cancer. Did you have any symptoms prior to being diagnosed?
Well, I have always had like a weak bladder. I was born with spina bifida, so I had something called a neurogenic bladder, which is caused from the spine being open, and then they do all these surgeries. So I've had a lot of bladder problems my whole life. So I'm thinking that if cancer was going to land anywhere,
it's going to be
in that weak spot. That's my bladder. Yes. So I was having pain on my side, and I went to my primary doctor because I thought, oh, it's a gynecological thing, like a cyst or a pulled muscle maybe. So I went for my GI exam, and she said to me, well, no, your ovary's fine. There's nothing really there that would cause, that pain. There's like a muscle, but it's not, So I was like, okay, well, then they put me on antibiotics, so they thought maybe I had diverticulitis. So then I went to the GI doctor, and that's how I actually found out that I had cancer. He took the CT scan, and then she says to me, well, you don't have diverticulitis, but you have a tumor in your bladder. And I went, what? And that was causing the pain because it's called transference pain. Like you can have pain on one side, but it transfers to the other because the cancer was on the right side of the bladder, but I was having pain on the left. So, and then that started the snowball effect of going to the urologist and, being diagnosed with, having the tumors taken out, and it took a while for them to diagnose it, and then they diagnosed it. And I honestly really feel that when they first diagnosed it and told me that it was non-invasive, and I had this stuff, it's called Bcg Treatments. It's where they put chemo in the bladder and you have to hold it, and it's very toxic. And like I had to use the bathroom downstairs because of the kids with, because you have to put bleach in the toilet. It's very like a toxic thing. So I had that, and then all of a sudden, like we did that, and then he said, I'm gonna give you a break. And then January I go back, and we did, he's like, you ready to see nothing? And I'm like, sure, I'm ready to see nothing, knowing that there was something there. I just knew it. And it was two different tumors, and immediately, like a week later, it came back that it was invasive. So I'm really thinking that from the beginning, it was invasive, but they just didn't diagnose it right because it took them weeks to figure it out. Was it cancer? Was it not cancer? And it just took too long. So I really feel like it was always that way. I really feel like it was always that way. You know, and that led to me having to have my bladder removed, and a bag and all that stuff. And I had to have the bag. There's several options. There's Indian pouch. They make it from your intestines. They take part of your intestines and they make like a bladder. For most people, but for some of us that cannot have that type of surgery, because of my spina bifida, and I had 3 C-sections, and they just said, you know, it's the easiest way. And yeah, but my urologist didn't really want me to have that because he was like, you're so young, and you know, to have this bag and everything, and you know, so but I had to do it, you know, the best way the surgeon, you know, that I needed to do it. So I did it, you know, and you know, I was sort of so out of it in the hospital and stuff, but I, like, now I'll like, you know, I'll be at work and I go in the bathroom and I feel like a man, you know, going to the bathroom because like I'm, you know, drinking this bag in the toilet and I'm not sitting on the toilet like a woman would do. So I feel very weird sometimes at work, and some days it doesn't bother me, but then sometimes when I look down at the bag, I think, oh my God. But then I think to myself, but I'm alive.
Exactly.
So what does it matter? You know, and people say to me, like, because I, you know, it's hid under my clothes and stuff. People say to me, we wouldn't even never know.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even ever know. You know, and
you've got a lot to be thankful for, and that's one little inconvenience.
But it's very like, it's still, but there's days where the trauma just hits me like I'm like a Mack truck, you know, and then there's other days where I go along and go, I'm alive and everything's good, you know. So, you know, but I'm sure you had moments like that when you.
I have. And I'm just going to keep telling myself that my glass is half full, not half empty.
Right. And that's why, you know, I really got so into the writing and stuff, was because it took me out of my space. You know, even though I was talking about the cancer, but I felt good because I'm like, I'm helping people. Exactly. Yes, I'm talking, you know, and so it took me out of my element, you know, in a way. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I want to just, here's Dana again. I was pregnant at the time, and oral surgeon told me a pregnancy tumor, and after have baby will go away at 26 years. I believe them as they watched it grow.
Wow.
Wow, Dana. You've been through a lot, girl.
I know. My gosh. We think we've been through a lot. Whew. Wow. Dana's been a lot. I mean, I know her story. Like, she's talked to me about her story.
Here you go. Sherry just downloaded Reckless and Dear Cancer. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Aw, that's so nice.
I know. I do want to talk about your other books too. It's already 5:46. Wow. Because I have to cut this off about 2 minutes before the hour's up, because Instagram, if it goes over 1 hour, I can't upload it. It has to be an hour or under, because I like to put it on Instagram. But anyway, let's see your other 2 book covers.
Okay, well, this is my second book. It's called Mended Body, Broken Soul.
Okay.
Obviously, the Mended Body is my body mending. Broken Soul is deals with a lot of trauma in this book. What I went through in the hospital, a 5-day stay turned into 10. I had home health, a lot of, you know, complications trying to figure out about the bag and different things. So this book here is full of trauma, and you see the girl like in the ocean and the storm. That this whole book, this whole cover right here represents my entire journey. Wow. From surgery to beyond, to going back to work, you know,
to help cancer survivors. and
Yes.
people going through cancer.
Yes. And I wanted seashells because I really love seashells and stuff. And I really liked the girl and everything. And then this is the back cover of it, and my blurb's on there. But this storm is me, people. This storm right here.
Now, is that
I
haven't read that one. Is that also letters or no?
No. It's just writing, and I do have some poems in there. And then yes, I'm like crazy about these poems.
I guess so.
And I do write letters in most of my stories. Yes. I am a letter writing girl in a story, and I also write poetry.
That's great.
Yeah, I know, right? And then my third book that's out, which I don't have a copy of, is called Flying Free.
On my phone. Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, it's called Flying Free. Originally the stories were two separate stories, and then I had an idea to put them together. It talks about reincarnation, my mother coming back as a cardinal to help me through the darkest times of my life, which was, i.e., the cancer journey and all that. So she and she believed in reincarnation. Thank you very much, Tina. Thank you. I love that cover. I honestly love that cover. You know, I ooh and ah over my covers. It's like my babies or something. So anyway, that encompasses reincarnation. Mom coming to me as a cardinal because she always wanted to come back as a bird, to fly free, and it was kind of me doing my final memoir as like, I'm okay now to let her go, to be, the best angel, the best spirit that she can be for other people, to help other people, because she was just like me. She was very friendly, outgoing, talkative, was very sick herself, fought like a fighter, just like me. I take after her, and I look a lot like her. So, and she fought to the end. She really did, and she taught me how to be strong my whole life. So, like, I dedicated the book to my mom, and so that, but I wanted to set her free and set myself free so that I could move on to other genres and other books and other things, and not keep her, stifled over here, that you have to constantly be near me, mommy, and, and that I'm okay over here. But I will tell you this, little stubborn thing as she is, because she was an Irish German woman, she still comes to the yard every day. I'm like, mommy, you're supposed to be going to help someone else. What are you doing here? But it's like, like for this interview, I saw her today, and then yesterday I saw her, and when I was going to the doctor's appointment, for the CAT scan and for the oncology visit, I saw her. Like, she's still there, and yes, she's still going to be there, but I'm okay now. So it's a story about letting go of grief, and be able to. I'm flying on my own.
Right.
She's flying with her wings, with her angel wings, flying, with her cardinal wings and reincarnation. I'm flying on my own without wings, and someday, I will fly with her with my wings when that time comes. So that's my third story.
Beautiful. I think that's beautiful.
So now I'm trying to work on this mystery book.
I've seen some of your posts. Your work, is it a historical romance or mystery? You have to fill me in.
Yeah, well, the mystery book is it's like a haunting suspense thriller kind of book. I am writing a forbidden romance. Yes,
Okay,
and I will say this to you, Tina. You inspired me to write a romance book.
What?
You did, yes, you did.
What?
Yes. Because like you always, like, I love your books and your covers and all of that. And I remember seeing pictures of you in Ireland, right? Like, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
That's
said to
where
Chris-
you need to do.
and I said to my Chris Ruby, I said to her, I have to write a forbidden love story that's in Ireland. She's like, well, what's so important
Aw.
about that? She goes, oh, is it because of Tina Hogan's Grant post? And I was like, yes, I have to write about
Aw.
Ireland.
Well, I'll definitely have to get the book when it comes out. You have to
Yes.
keep it
So
posted.
it is a forbidden love
Do
story.
you have a release date for it? Or are you still
I
waiting
do
it?
not. I do
Okay.
not.
Well,
I
keep
do
us posted on
I
that.
know.
We'll definitely have
Yeah,
to.
I know. Yeah, but it's a forbidden love story, and it's based in Ireland. I actually just got a cover for it, which I was like totally thinking of another cover, and I saw this cover and I knew I had to have it for this girl.
What
I'm like,
part of
that's
Ireland
cool.
is it based in?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Give me a clue. Give me a spot. Give me something. Anyway, I don't know. Like I want it out in the country. It's like a country.
Well, my dad lived was in Jamaica, and that's in the county of Sligo. It's beautiful. Absolutely.
Okay, what is it called? What is it called?
Jamaica. I can send you to it. They have their own website.
Yeah,
But
because I just
that's in Southern Ireland, not Northern Ireland. So
okay,
it's
that's fine.
country. It's not part of England or anything like that. Yeah,
yeah, no, that.
But I do want to scurry along, as they say. But I'm looking forward to that book. I'm definitely going to get it when it comes out. So keep us posted on that. But let me see. Rita is doing a giveaway. She is going to be doing. She's going to be giving away a signed paperback of which one again, Rita?
The Dear Cancer.
Okay, that's going to help someone. I mean, I think it's a great book for, like I said, for family that are dealing with cancer survivors, people in cancer. It's a great book. It's raw. It's real. It's emotional. She doesn't hide anything. Now, when it comes to the giveaway, Rita, you can either pick the winner or I can pick it for you. The only thing is I have to tell you is that because right now we're seeing the feed from everywhere, YouTube, my group, and my author page. When we're no longer live, the feed will separate. So you have to go to those 3 spots and make sure you include those in a name you pick out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But
or I can pick it for you sometime tonight.
How about you pick it for me?
Because some people don't realize that I'm getting the feed from everyone, but once we're no longer live, I have to go to the author page and see who watched. I have to go to the group and see who watched, and I have to go to YouTube and see who watched.
Right.
And then
do you mind or no?
I'm sorry?
Do you mind doing that or no?
Oh, I don't mind at all, and I'll post the winner tonight. But I'm also going to be doing a giveaway. And this is something new I'm doing. I'm also going to be giving away a $5 Amazon gift card. But there's a catch. I always make my readers do something for prizes. The $5 giveaway is if you go after we finish going live, you go to my author page and you share this video to your page. And
there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can share it from my author page. You can't share from the group because it's private. If you share the video for us and you tag me on the video where you shared it, then you are entered in the $5 Amazon gift card. That's all you got to do. Just share the video from my author page, tag me so I can see you shared it. And that way we're getting the word out and we're spreading the word about cancer for cancer survivors. But I'm going to do this on every broadcast. I'll be doing a $5 Amazon gift card. You just got to share it from my author page and tag me. Right. But I wish we had more time. I love talking to you. We have a lot in common with the cancer. I love seeing you on Facebook and keeping up to date on what you're doing. We didn't get to a lot of questions. So if you wouldn't mind just going through the comments after we're done going live or when you have a chance. And just if you see some questions that we didn't answer or you didn't answer that we just overlooked, if you wouldn't mind just going in and if you can answer them, that would be great.
Oh, sure. That's fine. That's fine. And everyone
in the group. I'm sorry?
Yes. And everyone just check out me on Amazon and all my other books. And
Leave
will
some
have
links in the comments. If you want to just go back in after we're done being live, go into
and
the
the
comments.
links. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I
Leave
can do
whatever
that.
link you want to leave. Do you have a website?
I do not. I don't know. I don't know how to do that.
We gotta talk. I'll help you. We'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you.
Stay on the line, but
Right,
everybody.
that's why I was so excited to be on the show. I was like, oh my God, but no, but you truly have, like, with your stories, like I don't know. I never would have thought that I would have wanted to write a romance, because I'm like really not into them.
Oh, there she goes. She's gone again. But thank you, Rita. She back? Are you back?
All right,
There you are.
I'm here.
Well, I can't wait to read.
I'm here, everyone. I'm here. Yeah. But I'm gonna go through the comments. I will answer questions, and I will post the links in the comments. And just keep me in mind, because I've got a lot more books to go.
Oh, you bet you will. We'll have you back too. But
yes, Tina, and send me that information about the Ireland.
The what?
About the town in Ireland.
We can still talk after live. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. I love you guys.
Thank
and
you so much.
Share the video after we stop going live from my author page. Tag me, and you will be in for the drawing for a $5 Amazon gift card, which I'll announce tonight. And I will also be announcing the signed paperback from Rita. So, everybody, thank you so much. And
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
It was great. I had fun.
Good. Me too.